Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have part 2 of the What's in My Professional Makeup Kit series, and today I'm going to be talking about highlighters, contour products and illuminators. That was the last one. Let's get into it. Okay, so first up I'm going to talk about liquid illuminators. You guys know that I'm a huge fan of dewy, glowy, highlighted skin, so these products are pretty important to me and I've narrowed it down to 3 that I really love. First up, the illuminator that I use the most out of all would definitely be this little baby here. This is the Josie Maran Argan Illuminizer. I feel like the packaging may have changed in more recent times. I have had this for a little while, but I'm completely obsessed with this product. I use this in mostly 2 different ways. Firstly, I will often add drops of this into a liquid foundation before I apply it, and that gives an overall super dewy, glowy effect. And secondly, I also use it as more of a targeted highlighter. I'm probably going to be saying this a lot throughout this video considering all the highlighters I have. I'll often apply it in this kind of area here, tops of the cheekbones, and I'll also add a little under the brow bone. And occasionally I do put it on the tip of the nose and the cupid's bow of the lip as well, but often I'll save that for a powder highlight as well. I will often put this on before a powder highlight so that there's like extra highlighting going on there. I'm pretty obsessed. You could definitely do this by itself because it's gorgeous. I'll actually show you on the back of my hand, but you know, the more highlight the merrier for me. So it comes out like this. It's quite creamy, and then I'll spread it out for you. Quite a lot comes out in one pump, so unfortunately I probably do waste a lot of this product. This is what it looks like on the skin. I really hope that shows up enough. It is so beautiful and it just gives the most natural looking dewy glow. This colour I would describe as a golden kind of eggshell shade, so it's not too yellow, which means it's really good for both pale skins and more tan skin types as well. I can't remember how much this cost because like I said, I did purchase it a while ago, but whatever it is, it's totally worth it because it lasts a really long time and it's just beautiful. Real quick, I forgot to add that I also do purchase this for my mum because it gives a really nice glow to all skin types and all ages. Next up, we have MAC Strobe Cream, and I feel like this one is a bit of a classic. I'm going to go straight into showing you what it looks like. I again use this in a really similar way to the Josie Maran. In fact, all of these I'll use in a really similar way. I'll often add drops of this to foundation before applying it, or I will apply it straight to the skin for extra glow. As you can see, this gives much more of a natural looking glow than the Josie Maran illuminator. It makes the skin look very dewy and still very beautiful. Because I am such a huge fan of highlighting, I usually use the Josie Maran more often, but this one is much more natural just if you'd like a little bit more glow. Say you're using a matte foundation or kind of a velvety foundation and you want it to look a little bit more glowy, then this is a really great product to add in. The other great thing is that a little does go a long way with this. I would probably only use 1 to 2 drops in foundation to make it more glowy. Also, it comes out a little white when you first put it on your hand, but it ends up blending out to be not super coloured at all, which means again that it works for all different skin tones. Products that work with all different skin tones are definitely what you want to go for when you're putting together a professional makeup kit, because you just never know what shade, what undertone is coming your way, so it's good to have multi-use products. The last illuminator that I love to keep in my kit is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is obviously the liquid version, but these also come in pressed and poured, which I'll be showing you very soon. Probably my favorite thing about this range is that there are so many shades available. Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors come in quite pale whitish shades and they go all the way up to kind of bronze, golden, just gorgeous highlighted shades. So that is the best thing about this. I do have a few of these. I probably do use this one the most. This is Opal. This is what it looks like on the skin. It comes out looking quite peachy actually, but it blends in to be very natural. So this is it here. Again, sometimes I put a couple of drops in foundation, sometimes I apply it straight to skin. If I'm not using any foundation, sometimes I'll apply this to the tops of the cheekbones anyway, just for an extra glow. Can't live without that glow. So I'm saying that this is the second most natural of my illuminators, but to be honest, I always kind of battle it out as to which one I'm going to use when I'm doing a makeup because I love all three equally. Okay, now onto highlighters, which is probably my favorite product ever. A couple of these I have been using for a while, but I'm going to start with my most recent addition to my makeup kit, and that is the Anastasia Glow Kit in the shade Sun Dipped. And I really have only had this for maybe a month or so now, so I haven't used it a lot, but every chance I get, I am using it. I have it on today. I know, my highlight is looking good, and that is because of this. The shades I use the most are definitely Summer and Moonstone, but when it comes to working with some darker skin tones, I think these two shades here will be really helpful as well. I think this can be a little hard to get your hands on. I know that it can sell out quite quickly. I was really lucky that I just happened to walk into a Sephora when they had just been restocked. But I do have some other highlight options coming your way, so don't worry, I do have other options. I'll show you some swatches of these. So as you can see, that is Summer and Moonstone. To be honest, I'll often use a mixture of these two, just like a dab of this one and a dab of that one. Dab. So I love mixing these two together. For my skin tone, that is my favorite way to do it. Obviously, if I have a more paler skin tone, I will use Moonstone. And if I have a bit more of a warmer skin tone, then I start moving to Summer. And like I said, I haven't used the other two shades yet, but I'm sure I'll get the opportunity to do that very soon. This is also just super convenient because it's obviously easy to pack into the kit. It sits really nicely with some of the other palettes that I have, and having 4 shades in one is always really helpful when you're going to be working with different skin tones. Okay, so this little baby here has been in my makeup kit for as long as I can remember. I started using it in my professional kit and on myself personally at the same time, like years and years ago. I couldn't even tell you how long ago that was. So this one is like an oldie but a goodie for me. This is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Soft and Gentle. I'm sure you guys would have heard about this before. I feel like it's quite a well-known little product. And again, it is just beautiful. It works well on pale to tan skin tones, but not really olive skin tones because I feel like it can turn out a little bit grey. It's very pigmented. I'll show you. It's what you would call quite a frosty shade. So that would be why it doesn't work so well with olive skin tones, but it is just such a beautiful product. Like, I just want to cover my whole body in this right now. It is so gorgeous. It is beautiful also to just add a little bit on your décolletage or down your shins if you're having a night out. It just looks so beautiful and glowy. And again, I apply these tops of the cheekbones, sometimes a little bit under the brow, and definitely the tip of my nose because I have a scar down the center of my nose. If I didn't have a scar, I would apply it straight down the center of my nose, and I also apply it to the Cupid's bow of my lip, which applies to all of my highlighters, just so you know. Lucky last in the highlighter section is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors, the pressed ones. So these are the powder shimmering skin perfectors. So this is what I use for highlighting a lot of the time. Again, these come in a great shade range. I think there must be at least 6 different shades, so they really do have a shade for everyone, from paler skin tones to much deeper skin tones. This shade here is called Moonstone. It is one of the paler shades. So me without a tan, this would be great for, but I can still wear it with a tan as well, so it's quite versatile. I also have Champagne Pop, which is of course the Jaclyn Hill collaboration, which is more of a warmer golden peachy shade. This is Rose Gold, which is even more warm than Champagne Pop, and I absolutely love this color. I feel like it does suit more tanned and deeper skin tones. If you were super pale, I wouldn't put this on because it would come out much too pink on your skin. Like, it wouldn't really look like a highlight, it would look more like a blush. in my opinion. Then I have this beautiful shade here, which is called Blushed Copper, and this one is much too deep for my skin tone as a highlighter, but this as an eyeshadow is so beautiful. This is perfect for deeper skin tones. It is just the most gorgeous product. Again, these would probably be a little more on the expensive side. You know, they're not a drugstore product, but they do last a really long time and they're just so worth it, particularly if you're a highlighter girl like me. These are just gorgeous products and they blend really easily. They're super pigmented and that highlight will definitely be on fleek. Okay, so here they are here. Starting from the top, there is Moonstone, which you can see is quite a, what I would say is an eggshell shade. Then Champagne Pop, which is much more golden peachy. Then Rose Gold, which is very warm. And a little bit, I would say that's a little bit coppery as well. But then we have Blush Copper, which is super coppery and beautiful. But these are awesome to have a full highlighter shade range in your makeup kit. Now on to contouring, and I'm going to start with one of the oldest products in my makeup kit, one that I absolutely can't live without, and one that I've been using for as long as I can remember, maybe since it even came out, because I remember when I found out about this and I was just like, gotta get my hands on that. This is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate palette. This is Intensity 1, but it also comes in Intensity 2. Not sure if it goes any higher than that, but basically Intensity 1 is the paler shade and Intensity 2 is obviously the darker shade. So this is a duo, as you can see. So there's a contour shade on the bottom and the highlight shade on the top. I didn't include this in my highlighters because I definitely use the contour more, even though you can see the bottom of the pan on the highlight, which is kind of odd. But this contour, I would say I use more than any other contour product in my makeup kit. It works so well with so many different skin types. It is a cream contour, but I love cream contours. I think they look the most natural of all. But really by the time you finish your makeup, you kind of set this in place anyway because, you know, you might put bronzer over the top or blush over the top. You might use a setting powder. So really the cream contour does get locked in place with everything else you're popping on top. So I have never had any issues with the longevity of this. I do also use the highlight on top if I want quite a natural glow. And honestly, sometimes it's just there because I've used the contour. And so I just think, oh, I'll just use this as well. But I'll always put another highlight over the top of it unless it's a mature skin, and then I might just leave this highlight on its own. I know it looks very battered, and that is really just because I use it so often. This is quite an expensive product. From memory, I think it might be $100 or over, but it does last pretty well and it's just such a beautiful product that I think it's totally worth it. I can see that the contour shade looks a little orangey there, but really I've never had any issues with it looking too orangey on my clients, and I'm really pretty picky with that. I find that this works with a lot of skin tones. Obviously, deep skin tones are going to need a much darker shade, but any skin tones from quite pale to quite tanned, I find that it works really well with. And you can see the little creamy glow on top as well. Again, I love packing this in my kit because it's small, it's really compact, and a dual product. So handy. The second cream contour product I use is the Laura Mercier Flawless Contouring Palette, and this must be one of my other favorite contouring products of all time. Now this one is awesome because it does have the different shades in it. As you can see, contour number 1 and medium 2 are definitely my most used shades, but it also has a deep shade and it also has a couple of highlights, which I don't use that often. If you wanted a palette that has a bit of everything, then this is definitely a handy one to have. These shades are really ashy as well, which I love in a contour. I can't stand orangey contours, which is why it surprises me that that Tom Ford one just looked a little orangey on my hand. But these ones look very ashy and I will show you. Okay, so that is contour number 1, 2, and 3 from top to bottom. I often use a mixture of number 1 and number 2 for myself when I have a tan. Someone who is a bit paler, I would definitely use number 1. These are a beautiful cream. They blend so easily, and in another video I'll show you the brushes that I use to blend this with. From memory, I don't feel like it's that expensive either, particularly because you get 5 shades in it. Definitely worth the investment. Laura Mercier contouring products have been a favourite of mine for a really long time. I have only had this palette for maybe a year or two, but Laura Mercier used to have individual contour shades that were in like a little round pot, and I started using them way back when I first started learning makeup. So I have a lot of faith in her cream contour products. I know you guys are probably wondering, where's the powder contour? And here it is. This is the IT Cosmetics My Sculpted Face palette. Again, it has 6 shades. I don't really use the paler shades so much, but the contour shades I get a lot of use out of. This one is new and I've broken it already. Again, the shades are quite ashy and I find that they work well on most skin tones. Again, I will often mix shades to create the perfect shade, so I'll often mix these two here. Sometimes I'll put one over the other, but most often I'll just do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I won't do the dab thing again. And also I love these two shades because they're awesome for paler skin tones. I think a lot of contouring products go really heavy on the deeper shades, and then finding shades for really quite pale skin tones can be hard to find. But these ones here are really handy and really ashy. So I'll show you a couple of swatches. Okay, so I've just swatched my 3 most used shades, which is definitely this one, and this one. This is what they look like on the back of my hand. They're a really buttery, soft powder to use, so they blend super easily. Although anytime I use a powder contour, I will always apply a translucent loose powder to that area first, because ain't nobody got time for contouring lines. No. The price of this escapes me. It is available from Sephora. I don't think it's that expensive. I just have a feeling it's not that bad for the 6 shades. Again, super easy to put in a makeup kit because it's compact, it's flat, stores really well with other palettes. So again, I highly recommend this one. And that's it for, I feel like I shouldn't say that's it, because that actually is quite a lot of product for highlighting and contouring. The next video I will be filming for this series is my cheek products, so creamy cheek products and bronzers and blushes. They're up next. Now I can't remember if I've already said thank you so much for watching, but thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you're enjoying my videos in general, then please subscribe to my channel. Okay, that's it. I'll see you guys in another video real soon. Bye.